Hey y'all, how's everyone doing? Well, I'm going to do a quick touch up to my makeup. And I thought, well, while I do, why don't I just make that a video? Because I am going to film for a compilation video for someone. And this is all I had on for today. So I had on lipstick, some liner, kind of a soft brown, and no base. And I thought, I need to at least put on some under eye concealer and kind of brighten my face up. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is kind of a touch-up makeup from going from just, working during the day and some basic meeting videos to an actual video that will be shown to other people. So I'm going to start with putting on my Insta-Age Rewind Eraser. And this is kind of an Old Faithful, something that I've used for I don't even know how long. But it's a Maybelline product. You can get it at the drugstore. I start from the outside in and just go right down in that blue area. Outside in, right in that blue area. And then I do go ahead and go right past the nose, literally on the outside of the little area on the nose, because I want to make sure I get that little dent in there. And then where our little drop down here, I call it the bulldog jowl. And then you got your other jowls down here. But and then I also put a little brightener right here in these two wrinkles right here. These are structural, so you're not going to fix them, but you can do an illusion. And then also there and down the nose just to brighten that area. Some people put it here. This is a thicker product than your basic foundation. So if you put on too much, you're setting those wrinkles. And so the least I can do, the better. So I'm going to start with that. And I'm also going to be using this Light Wonder Youth Boosting Foundation. This is in color number 4, Fair. And this is from Charlotte Tilbury. So I'm going to use, let me get a Flathead Kabuki. And this is Sigma's famous F80. And I love Flathead Kabukis. It needs to be cleaned so bad, y'all. Anyway, I'm going to use this, and normally I would do one or the other, but this time, because this is a little bit darker foundation and it is a little heavier, I'm going to go ahead and, the other thing I was going to do is my dark spots. I'm going to go ahead, sometimes people are like, well, I put that on after. Other people say I put that on first. And you can see I already had a little bronzer on, so I'm kind of doing this very out of order. But I have age spots that are more troublesome than any kind of blemish. So, and for some of you ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Like, that one's pretty dark. This one is. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to use highlighter to brighten this area because I don't want to put too much on. So, I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of go over, just kind of fill in this area in between. Okay, so you see now you're evening out your palette. And as I go over these areas that I've already got the concealer on, you see how it's there, and I just went over it, and it just leaves it brightened. And so that's what I want to do. I just want to leave that area brightened. I'm not going to overly blend it. This is because I'm going to be filming, y'all. Normally you would want to blend your makeup in a little better. And when I say filming, I'm going to be filming for someone else's video. It has nothing to do with YouTube. And so now what you see is I've kind of blended this in. You can lightly kind of blend it a little more lightly. This is just to make sure you didn't miss any areas, miss around your ear. Here, see where there's a very definite line? You want to blend that color down right past your ear. And just even that up. So there's no lines. And, of course, blend it downward. And then I'm going to also do a little bit on the forehead. Y'all know I don't like to put a lot of foundation on my forehead. I just don't. For one thing, that's where your wrinkles really stand out. But also around the crow's feet. And so, I'm actually going to switch from that to a concealer brush. And this one is from the El Makiage makeup that I got. But it is a good brush. And just any kind of really stiff, but full short brush like this is good for concealer. And I just smooth it out. And I, again, go from the outside in. And then just in case, because I already had makeup on and I had liner, sometimes it bleeds down. Then I'm going to wipe that back off and kind of blend out these edges real good. Again, into the makeup. And that's the good thing about the fact that I already had it on. I can blend it right in. Make sure I get in the crux right there and around the nose real good. And just make sure you don't have it pooling up anywhere. Okay, and then I'm just going to dot. I'm not going to smooth it this way. I'm just going to dot that on. Make sure that we got that blended in real good. And again, because I'm touching up with makeup already on, you do got to also put my tongue in the wrinkle and just brush over it. Just make sure you get it where it's not too heavy in this area. Okay, so, because what you're trying to do is make sure that these pores are filled in, frankly, with makeup. Okay, that's what you're doing. I can do a little bit right there too and there, just to make sure it's blending out okay, alright? Oh, around the mouth, just to make sure it's blending in real nicely around the nose. And on either side of the nose bone there. Okay? So that's that. Now, you don't have to do this, and I would say if it's going to be a real quick video, I wouldn't do this, but you can do a translucent powder, very, very light, highly milled powder in order to set this. It is not my recommendation that you do, and I'll tell you why. When you set it, you will definitely, especially as an older lady, even with really good powder, and hers, Charlotte Tilbury's powders are very highly milled finishing powders. And so here's another one, the Veil Translucent Setting Powder by Hourglass. That's another one. So we'll just use it. But again, you don't need a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a dual fiber brush. This is a small dual fiber F55 from Sigma, and it's very dense on the bottom and light on the top, and because of that, it makes this is like one of the perfect brushes. But still, tap it off, and you just literally, again, just lightly dust under and over where you just did what you did, lightly. And I can tell you, when you do, it definitely is going to show off your wrinkles worse. Okay. Also, any kind of shine that you were looking for from your makeup, this is going to mattify it. So what do you end up doing? You end up putting highlighter on, which, again, when you do that, you are adding more product, which, again, sets those wrinkles. So see how mattified I look now? Now, does that look good for video? Probably, especially if you're younger and you worry about oil. But if you're older and you worry about the look of dryness, then it's the opposite. I still think this is a great product. I still think Charlotte Tilbury's setting powder is a good product. I'm still going to dust it off real good. And just try to make sure as little product as possible. Just trying to blend it out a little bit. And also back here is good because it almost gives you that facelift. Look, okay, so now the makeup's set. I'm going to now add a blush. And I'm going to use my favorite blush. And that is Chanel's number 2 Rose Bronze. Let me show you the color. Oh, God. This is my other palette. Doesn't have much in there. I love this, though. So I'm just going to swirl around with the brush that's in there. And I'm going to stay right on the upper part of the cheek and dust it out. Upper part and dust it out. Just smile and just stay on this back side. And stay on the upper portion. Do you see the difference just doing that? So again, I'm going to swirl this around real good. Come down and then swirl it out. And go back up and swirl it out. I'm also going to come down my nose because I like to put a darker color on my nose because it makes it recede. Okay, and I've got a large nose. Also, the inside, like you're going to put bronzer back here, so I'm going to come right in front of where that would be and get some color across the top and also under the chin really good. This color is just like, it is a bronzy rose, so it's like you don't have to use bronzer really. Look at that, how that cut in underneath and gives that shadow effect. But I am going to blend that down, and I am going to do real good on the jowls and right here just to make sure it does cut in. Right there on the jowl. Right. But make sure you blend down so there's not a line. But this is just using a very basic brush that came with it, and it's still, and then I do the very bulbous into my chin because I've got a very large chin. Just kind of blending it down. Okay, so that is favorite all-time blush. I mean, look at me, I don't have to use a bronzer really. I am going to look at this Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. It's very light, and this is in the Instant Look in a Glow Natural Beauty. This is the 5-minute Face on the Go. And I'm going to use this. It's a little bit lighter of a bronzer, and so I'm going to stay really high and way back here. It just gives that cut-in effect. And I'm using her brush. This is the Powder and Sculpt brush. Again, stay right back here. Roll it just a little bit so you don't have a line, right? You don't want just a line. You want to diffuse it a little bit. Like make it and then diffuse it. And then I am going to go ahead and roll back up in here, right at the hairline. When I say roll, I'm doing little circles so that there's not a defined line. And if you see a line, like I feel like there's a line there, there's another way to correct that. In the meantime, I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to come over here to her highlight. And I am not going to go at the crow's feet, but right below it, and